So, does Darth Vader fit into Dead by Daylight? That is a discussion that's been happening since the interview Matthew Kote was in, where he revealed that Disney was in the talks to bring in Darth. People saying, they want Dead by Daylight to be purely horror, horror fame, no other care, no horror. We want horror, only horror, right? And the other part is more like, well, DBD's already going into they're branching out basically. They're giving us more non-horror characters like Lara Croft, Vecna, and stuff like that, right? And so the discussion is like, would Darth Vader be a suitable killer for Dead by Daylight? And to me, who is a Star Wars fan, I would like this either way, right? I think having the man himself as a killer would be very, very cool. Now, when I look at a place, definitely, I think if you put him on, let's say, this chain of things, but the artist map, it wouldn't fit, but you could basically say that for every other licensed kill. Does Vecna fit being on the Halloween map? Does that look right? No. But people, it's like, do you really care that much anymore? Like, you probably cared the first week that Vecna got at it, right? You were like, this doesn't fit. But after like a week, you stopped caring. Be honest. You're not still complaining about it, are you? So I feel like Darth Vader would definitely last longer in that aspect of people complaining. But I feel like eventually, you just have to accept that he's in the game now, and you can't do much. You can't do much about it, right? And I think he fits. I think a man like Darth Vader does fit. Like, if you look at all the DVD killers, why wouldn't he fit? I mean, he kills women, men, children. He fits that category because he's menacing. He looks menacing. He kills people, which is what you do as a killer. I feel like he would be very interesting. I honestly feel like Darth Vader would go so fucking hard in Dead by Daylight. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it would be the next biggest chapter for Dead by Daylight besides the FNAF chapter, right? Or Jason. So I don't see why not. Like, sure, if you don't want to break the horror aspect of the game, then adding that in would be, you would kind of take away that horror aspect. But at the same time, I mean, I feel like Darth Vader is an exception. Just if you've consumed any sort of material of Darth Vader that isn't just the first movies, I feel like you can get a sense of how he would fit in, how he would work, right? A lot of people bring up the Rogue One scene, which that's a good representation, but I feel like just him as a character too. It's not just that scene; it's just him as a character. He is a ruthless guy who just swings his little lightsaber around and kills people. Like, if you would have taken that idea and plastered horror on it, boom, you got a horror character right there. If you were to say, I made a character that kills people with a burning blade, chokes them to death, that could be horror material. That could absolutely be horror material. It's not like that's not horror. Oh, it's just the fact that Star Wars itself isn't horror. You can still make Star Wars into horror. There's a perfect example of that is the Death Trooper book, right? That's horror. That's horror in Star Wars. You can make it into horror, right? It's like, it's not impossible to do. And with Vader, as a lot of people say, what if he didn't have a terror radius? What if he just had his breathing, and that was his terror radius, right? That would be cool as shit. What if he made the map darker so you couldn't see like the dredge? Like, what if he did something like that? So where that scary effect was much stronger, right? I feel like stuff like that can make it so much better, instead of like just saying, no, you don't want Vader in the game because it's Star Wars. He isn't scary. And also another thing, if you just look at all the killers in the game and then go to their cosmetic tabs, I mean, are we really gonna say that this game's scary? I mean, there is literally fucking teddy bear skins for the Trapper, there is buddy skins for the Legion, there's a bunch of wacky skins for killers in general too. It's not just, and also survivors have really dumb looking skins, right? Like the Fang Min bunny outfits, like I feel like this isn't war, doesn't really matter anymore. I feel like the game has already gone to that state of being, not so horror related anymore, because um, how much more horror could you do? I mean, they've done basically everything now. The only thing we're missing is really a couple of characters. Like for me at least, it's the Predator and Jason. I think are top contenders. But after that, there's a couple of small horror IPs, and maybe the Nun. Like there's not a whole lot you can do after that, right? That would get people excited. So I think branching out to stuff like Star Wars or bigger IPs that aren't necessarily horror, but still can be horror adjusted,